Then I will explain how you fix it. Okay. So for number 1, we were solving for x. So get x by itself by subtracting dy. On both sides. Then we can get x by itself completely by dividing everything by a. So that x equals c minus dy all over a. Questions? With number 2, you could have done one of two things. You're trying to get b by itself, so you could get rid of y by subtracting. And then divide both of these by -1. Or all of these by -1. So that b equals, this becomes a negative mx, this becomes a positive y. What you also could have done is instead of moving y, to move b, and at first that won't seem like it's helping, but then I could go ahead and move mx by subtracting. So you could do either or. Questions on either of those? For number 3, to solve for b, you actually have to multiply it on both sides. Because if you multiply the m, that's not going to get b out of the denominator. And then I could divide both sides by b. Questions on that one? And get that one. Okay. The last one was probably the most challenging one on this, because it gives us our formula, then it describes it, the describing part. We don't really need all that. We do need to know what we're solving for, C. So if you have done the delta math on the literal equations, this is very similar. You may see problems like this, or may have seen problems like this, where we have a C in both things, and we need to take that C out. So we're going to undistribute it by taking it out, and then putting parentheses, and whatever is left, put that inside. So if I take C out of this, let's say I'm dividing it, that would be 1 left. And for this one, it would just be R left. Then I could divide both sides by what's inside the parentheses. So that P over 1 plus R equals C. Any questions on that one? So, I'm going to explain your flex day, and we'll do that for the rest of class. Those that need to finish a test will be working on that. Those that finish their test, I'm going to be passing it back out to you, and you're going to look and see whether you want to retake or not. If you want to retake, I'm going to go through that process really quickly, and I'll leave this up here. So, if you are retaking, you are doing the following things. You're going to do test corrections on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to write the original problem, write your original answer, and you're going to fix every problem that you got wrong for each objective you want to retake. You don't have to retake both. You can if you want. If you want to focus on one and retake that first and then the second one later, you could also do that. you got to get your test corrections checked. And then once all of those are checked, I'm going to show you where to upload them. You have to do your original DUS math, so the ones that were due not last week, but 2 weeks ago, and then the one before that. Those have to be done in order for you to retake. If you scored below a C, you also have to do additional practice on whichever objective you want to retake. Questions on that retake process? Okay. So when you get your test back, if you decide you want to retake, you're going to go ahead and start those. If you decide you don't want to retake, I'm going to take your test back. No tests, go home, because there are people who haven't finished them and I need access to all of them. So if you're not retaking, I'll take that back, and then if you're missing DUS math, you'll be doing that. If you're not retaking and you're not missing DUS math, you're going to be working on an activity. Questions? I know that was a lot on what we're doing today. Ms. Shepard, do you want me to just split the room, or did you still want to take some of them down? There's a, as I said, because there's quite a few who haven't finished. Or didn't start.